Listen to me very carefully. I've used the iPhone 17 Pro Max for 140 hours or so, and I am coming from the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but even if you have an iPhone 16 series device, it may just be time for you to upgrade. The iPhone 17 Pro Max has been a delightful treat. From the new design, to the display, to the speaker quality, to the connections, like the speed of the connections, battery life, the camera. I am impressed with this phone all the way around. And I typically have not been able to say that from a yearly upgrade, but this year Apple really knocked it out of the park. Now, this isn't a long-term review or anything like that. I will be making more longer-term reviews throughout the life cycle of this iPhone. But as of right now, I am really enjoying it. Now, I have to start really quickly with the elephant in the room, the design. So this phone is now made out of aluminum instead of titanium. And I actually like the aluminum design. It is a lot more rounded. It's a lot less beautiful and more utilitarian. And as you guys see here, it is just gorgeous in its own right. And I'm so glad I went with the silver color because of all of the weird issues with durability that people are showcasing online. There have been orange and blue 17 Pros and 17 Pro Maxes that have the finish being rubbed or scratched off. Now, I don't think I have to worry about that as much with the silver color, but that is definitely something you will want to think about whenever you order this phone. And I can even tell whenever I hold this phone, the aluminum just feels softer. It's not a problem whenever you're using it, but I can definitely see that being an issue if you were to drop this phone, especially without a case. Now, I'm the kind of person who enjoys using my phones without cases, but I am very concerned with dropping this device and it being dented the heck out of just because of this material being softer. So that's probably not something I'm going to do this year. But the main things I want to focus on are the things I noticed on this phone that are amazing. Actual improvements that you would see if you jumped from an older iPhone. The screen is so much better this year. Apple has jumped from 2000 nits to 3000 nits of brightness. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot on paper, but whenever you use the phone, you notice it almost immediately. If you are the kind of person who use your iPhone outside, you will honestly be shocked by how much better you can see the screen on this phone. And Apple did go ahead and bring an anti-reflective coating to these devices. It is a slight coating, like on the Galaxy S25 Ultra, it probably blocks out, I would say 80, 85, 90% of the reflection. On this phone, it's more 30 to 40%. Now, I did go ahead and put on a screen protector, so I'm not testing the anti-reflective coating on my phone particularly. I'm just not a fan of having my actual phone scratched up. I would rather have my screen protector all scratched up to where I can just take it off, pop a new one on, and the screen looks brand new. But Apple did say that they, like I said, brought the anti-reflective abilities to the display, and they also made it twice as scratch resistant. So I will let you all and other YouTubers test that out, and I will keep rocking my screen protectors. But yeah, back to the brightness. I got so used to using the Google Pixel 10 Pro and the brightness on that display. Whenever I looked at that Pixel next to my 16 Pro Max, it was an immediate like, dude, this display is so much better in bright scenarios. And I just noticed right away how much better it was on this phone. Finally, Apple brought a brighter display. I used iOS 26 beta for a while on my 16 Pro Max, from the beta to the public release. And the 16 Pro Max, it's a very powerful phone, obviously, right? But the performance wasn't really the best, even on the public release. And I don't know how that this is even really possible. This phone feels so much faster than my last iPhone. It is ridiculous. Whenever you go in and actually open apps, whenever you scroll, whenever there's animations, the phone just feels so much smoother. And I don't know if they adjusted like the screen itself or if they adjusted promotion specifically for this model. I don't know. But I'm telling you all, this phone feels so much faster. And it was very, very noticeable. Like from one generation to the next, you shouldn't notice that much of a speed increasement. Now, obviously, yes, this phone is new. Like I did a fresh setup. I didn't use iCloud as a restore. I like setting up my phones from scratch and then, downloading all the apps manually and getting all my stuff back on it. Maybe that's why I had too much junk on my last phone, but this phone is blazing fast. That's not something I expected. I didn't expect this phone to feel so good. And it's not just me, I've heard other people talk about this. So great job, Apple, there with increasing the speed. So the cooling adjustment, I have definitely noticed. One area where iPhones have always struggled is using the phone outside or in a hot environment and the screen dimming. I've noticed on this iPhone that, for one, the phone feels cooler the majority of the time you use it. Like, I use this phone very, very hard. I'm an extreme heavy user. And I noticed that yes, the phone definitely stays cooler the majority of the time. That's obvious. But if you do end up getting the phone to heat up, the phone actually distributes the heat a lot better than it did on previous models. Previously, you would feel the hotspot of whatever heat was being pulled from the phone, like from the CPU. And there's no longer a hotspot, like it spreads it evenly, which is great. And because the phone is so much cooler overall, whenever you are using it outside, like I was taking a bunch of photos and videos at one of the events we went to, and the phone itself did not overheat. Now, right now it's not insanely hot summer, but it's still pretty hot for it being early September. And the phone didn't overheat, and the phone's screen stayed bright for a very long time. If I can continue to have my iPhone screen bright for longer than the previous generations and not feel like a hot pocket in my hand, that alone is worth upgrading for. And so far, that is what I have experienced. It has definitely been better in those instances. I also noticed that the speakers on this phone are definitely louder. Now, if you turn it up to the maximum loudness, the actual quality of the speakers degrade a little bit. Like, it's not as clear and crispy. If you turn it up at the highest levels, you definitely lose a little bit of the audio quality. But all you have to do is just turn it down a couple of notches and it sounds just as good as the last generation. That to me is huge. I'm the kind of person who listens to some type of audio on my phone while I am taking a shower. So like, I'll put it on the sink next to the shower and listen to like a podcast or sports or even tech reviews, whatever podcasts. And I turn the volume all the way up, which I'm sure is not the best for the phone, but it's something that I like to do. And I noticed on this device, I can hear the vocals a lot better than I could on the last generation. I've been on record multiple times indicating that the S25 Ultra had better and louder speakers than the new iPhone. And I'm excited to test further to see if I like these speakers better than the Galaxy S25 Ultras. We'll see. And of course, Apple brought all of the new camera enhancements from the new telephoto lens, which is 4X at 48 megapixels and then 8X optical 12 megapixel. From what I have taken pictures of, I love the new telephoto camera. I'm the kind of person who uses telephoto a lot, a whole lot. I know a lot of people like the ultra wide camera, and I love ultra wide cameras as well, but I don't use the ultra wide camera as much as I use telephoto. I enjoy shooting photos in that millimeter range, and I am so excited that Apple brought a 48 megapixel telephoto lens. It's something that I have been wanting personally for a very long time. And that's just another reason why jumping from the last generation to the next was worth it for me. The pictures this phone can take are just amazing. And it doesn't really have the AI look like the Pixel 10 series does, and even the Galaxy S25 Ultra. I haven't tested it next to each other as much just yet, but I will be very soon. And that new front-facing camera, the ability to use 4 different views is really cool as well. But yeah, I'll have more information on my camera comparison and more camera testing videos, but I did want to mention that I have noticed the improvements. When it comes to the battery, it took my phone a few days to really adjust. First couple of days, of course, it was doing a whole lot of background tasks. And now that things have settled down, I am currently taking the phone off at 6 a.m., working on the phone all day long, whether it's for my full-time job, whether it's for YouTube, whether it's for taking pictures and photos and videos, or whether it's gaming. It doesn't matter what I do on this phone will easily last you the entire day. Now, it's weird because Apple has never had a flagship phone, like the Pro Max or whatever phone, that had a larger battery than Samsung's main flagship phone. And as of this very moment, Apple has a larger battery in their phone than Samsung does in their Ultra phone. That to me is a shocker. Apple over the years has always had smaller batteries in their devices, but comparable battery life. And now that they have decided to grant a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, like the 5,000 milliamp hour range being obtained by Apple is going to put them in another league of battery life. And I've noticed that, like my phone is still new, so I feel like it's only going to get better from here. But even now, 6 a.m. to midnight, all day of hard usage, I'm sitting at like 55% battery life left. For a normal person, easily 2 days of battery life, easily. For a hardcore user, day and a half. I'm loving this battery. If you're a gamer, this phone with the crazy good speed, crazy good cooling, and amazing, extensive battery life, hard to beat. I'm actually kind of having a tough time nitpicking anything. Like I'm just really enjoying this phone right now. Of course, iOS has its quirks, it has its bugs, but the hardware itself, Apple rocked it out of the socks. Other than, it not looking as pretty as it could be with those other colors and them scratching up, this is the best iPhone Apple has ever made. Yes, I would like the phone itself to be a little bit thinner. I mean, there's not much to complain about this phone, man. It's good. It's great. But yeah, I can't wait to test this further. Let me know down below what you all think of the iPhone 17 series. Let me know if you ended up picking up one of these. And if you did, let me know what model. Do you have the Air? Do you have the base 17? Do you have the Pros? Let me know what color you picked up as well. I've got a lot of other videos coming, not only this phone, but Samsung phones, my Google Pixel 10 Pro. I've got a lot more content I need to shoot regarding that phone. I will be doing some comparison videos between this and the Galaxy S25 Ultra, the Galaxy S26 Ultra when that comes out, the Pixel 10 Pro, of course. I just have a lot of different things I want to do. If you watched this entire video, leave a comment down below of an alien emoji, just so I know who watched the entire video. I will see you all in the next one.